Hey everyone, what I'm about to tell you isn't just a story, it actually happened. And trust me, by the end, you'll think twice before renting a cheap apartment. So let's get started. My name's Alex, I'm 26, and I just moved to Portland 3 weeks ago for my first engineering job. The pay was good, but housing, crazy expensive. So when I found this apartment in an old building downtown, rent almost half of what other places wanted, without thinking, I jumped on it. The building's from the 1920s, you know the type. High ceilings, creaky wooden floors, that old radiator smell. Kind of charming in a vintage way. My apartment, 4A, was small, but cozy. Perfect for starting out. But strangely, no one lives in the apartment nearby. I was alone. My first night there, I'm unpacking boxes around 11 p.m. when I hear it. Crying. A woman. Sobbing like someone just destroyed her entire world. It's coming from right next door, apartment 4B. I stop what I'm doing and listen. The walls are thin. I can hear her so clearly. Deep, gasping sobs. The kind that comes from real pain. I feel bad for her, but I figure everyone has rough nights. I go to bed. Second night, same thing. Midnight exactly. The crying starts. Same desperate, heartbroken sound, and it goes on for hours. I barely sleep. Third night, I'm ready for it. Midnight comes, and sure enough, the crying begins. But this time, there's more. I hear footsteps, slow, deliberate pacing back and forth. Then whispers. I press my ear against the wall, trying to make out words, but I can't. Just urgent, frantic whispering, like she's arguing with someone. By day 5, I'm exhausted. The crying, the pacing, the whispering, it's every single night at the exact same time. I decide I need to talk to my landlord, Mr. Chen. He's this elderly Chinese guy, super quiet, always sweeping the hallways. I catch him the next morning. Hey, Mr. Chen, quick question. Do you know anything about my neighbor in 4B? She seems to be going through something rough. He stops sweeping and looks at me with this strange expression. Neighbor? In 4B? Yeah, the woman next door. I hear her crying every night. His face goes pale. Mr. Alex, apartment 4B has been empty for 6 years. Nobody lives there. Nobody's lived there since what happened to Miss Sarah. My stomach drops. What do you mean empty? I hear someone in there every night. He shakes his head slowly. That apartment is locked. Has been for years. After Miss Sarah, he trails off, looks around nervously. Maybe ease the pipes. Old building, makes strange sounds. Mr. Chen, what happened to Sarah? He picks up his broom, won't meet my eyes. Not my story to tell. You want to know, you ask old Mrs. Patterson in 2C. She was here when it happened. And he walks away. That night, the crying starts again at midnight. But this time, it's different. Louder, more desperate. And then I hear it. 3 loud bangs on the wall, right where my bed is. I sit up, heart pounding. Then 3 more bangs. She's trying to get my attention. I lie there frozen, listening to her cry and bang on the wall for the next hour. When it finally stops, I can't sleep. I know what I have to do. The next evening, I knock on Mrs. Patterson's door. She's a tiny old woman, must be in her 80s. When I ask about 4B, her face crumples. Oh, that poor girl. Sarah Chen, Mr. Chen's daughter. She lived in 4B 6 years ago. Beautiful young woman, just graduated college. She was engaged, so excited about her wedding. What happened? Mrs. Patterson's eyes water. 2 weeks before the wedding, her fiancé was killed in a car accident. Sarah was devastated. She locked herself in that apartment, wouldn't come out, wouldn't eat. We could hear her crying through the walls day and night. Mr. Chen tried everything, but she wouldn't open the door. My blood runs cold. And one night, the crying stopped. Mr. Chen broke down the door the next morning. She'd taken her own life. Couldn't bear the pain anymore. They found her in the bedroom, still in her wedding dress. I feel sick. That's horrible. Ever since then, Mr. Chen keeps that apartment locked, can't bear to rent it out. And some of us, we still hear her sometimes, late at night, still crying for her lost love. That night, I try to stay awake, but exhaustion wins. I wake up at midnight to the crying, but it's not just crying anymore. I hear her voice clearly through the wall. Please, someone help me. Then the banging starts again, harder this time. The picture frame on my wall rattles. I can't take it anymore. I grab my keys, walk into the hallway. The corridor is dark, just one flickering light at the end. I stand in front of door 4B. The crying is so loud now. She's right there, just on the other side of this door. I try the handle. It's unlocked. I push the door open slowly, and the smell hits me first. Stale air, dust, and something else, something sweet and rotten, like dead flowers. The apartment is completely empty. Moonlight streams through boarded windows, illuminating nothing but bare floors covered in thick dust. Cobwebs everywhere. No furniture, no nothing. But I can still hear her. The crying is so loud it fills the entire space. Footsteps pace across the empty floor. I can hear them clearly, but I see nothing. The whispers surround me, echoing off the walls. And then the temperature drops. I can see my breath. The crying gets louder, closer. I feel it before I see it. A presence right behind me. Then a cold hand touches my shoulder. Fingers press into my jacket. I spin around and nothing. But on the wall, in the moonlight, I see a shadow. A woman's shadow, long hair, a dress, moving, reaching toward me. But there's nobody there casting it. The shadow's hand stretches toward my face on the wall. The crying becomes a scream. I run. I don't remember getting out of that apartment, don't remember running down the stairs. Next thing I know, I'm on the street gasping for air. I never went back. Called my boss the next morning, quit the job, moved back home with my parents. The landlord kept my deposit, my furniture, my clothes, everything. I didn't care, because I know what I saw. Sarah is still in that apartment, still crying for the life she lost, still trapped in her grief. And if you ever find an apartment that's too cheap, in an old building, and the landlord seems nervous, ask about the history. Ask about the previous tenants. Because sometimes they never really leave.